Alrighty. Well, good morning, everybody. There's Rocky. Look at the tail hanging down there. If there were fish swimming by, he could maybe put a hook on there and with a little bait and he could catch some fish. He could just hook the fish and then he could flip his tail up and just fling the fish right into his mouth. That'd be pretty cool. Anyway, the trailer, the camper isn't flooded, so that isn't going to work. It feels like it's going to flood when it rains, though, with all the water that comes in. But anyway, as you can probably hear, I'm still sick. I was potentially going to go to a place today to work, but I'm not going to now because I don't want to pass whatever this is on to the lady there. You know, she's an older woman and she's not in great health, and she probably doesn't need whatever this is to come into her life on top of everything else. And on top of that, we're having a blizzard. It's supposed to start Wednesday night, and it's supposed to go into Thursday, and it's supposed to make the roads pretty much impassable, and it's supposed to make travel really dangerous. And I need to get the perf to get more cough syrup, and I need to get more propane, and I need to do a bunch of things anyway. So I better do all that today, and then I can just batten down the hatches here and just basically lay in the bed and burn propane for 3 days or whatever, you know, and not have any reason to go out. I got to recharge this power box today too because it's way down on power. It's like about 20% or something now. So that also needs to be done today. And after spending a day going out into the cold, damp air, I'm probably going to be, what progress I've made getting better is probably going to go away. So anyway, there's a bunch of stuff I need to do. I'll be putting all that on a credit card because I don't have any money left. But I'm still waiting to hear as far as the Buy Me a Coffee page goes. I was sent a message last night to say they had received my information that they had requested that I sent, and that they were going to take it to the team, and they were going to give me a final decision when they had made up their mind. So I'm waiting for that to happen now. But like I say, in the meantime, everything's up in the air with that. One of the things I think I probably should do with that money is start filing my back tax returns, because at some point the government is going to come after me. Plus, the other part of that is if I file the returns, then I'll start getting tax credits back from the previous years. So money will actually start coming in from the federal government to refund me 4 years worth of tax credits, which will be good. Those checks will come in handy, I'm sure. So that's actually an investment that will pay for itself over time. And so I should start doing that process. I've already been into H&R Block because that's where I've always dealt. I can't do my taxes myself. It turns into a real shit show if I try. And the disability pension people have not been sending me paperwork for taxes. They haven't sent me paperwork the last 2 or 3 years. So what that means is I don't have the paperwork, but I know H&R Block can get it on their system, because it happened before one time where I was missing a government slip, and H&R Block was able to bring it up on their computer. And the other thing too is, there was another time there was a big tax credit I was entitled to, but you had to file for it by a certain date. Well, I filed for it, and I knew I filed for it on time through H&R Block. Well, then I get a letter from the government saying you didn't file on time, you're not eligible. And so I went down to the H&R Block office. Now, if that had been me trying to deal with them, I'd probably still be sitting here on hold even years later, listening to elevator music. But anyway, I went down to H&R Block, and I told them what was going on. I showed them the letter, and they checked my file, and they confirmed that I had indeed filed on time. And so the guy called some number, and I don't know what number he called, but it must be a number that only accountants and lawyers have. Had to be the real number, you know. I don't know if y'all remember that episode of The Simpsons where Homer joined the Stonecutters. And they gave him the real number for 911. And they gave him the real numbers to call if you need to have business with the government and you actually want to be helped. And, not the numbers the peasants call, but the numbers the elites call, Anyway, this guy called some number, and he got a human being on the line right away, which never happens with us. We always end up getting recordings and stuff, and then we spend a lot of time waiting, and then usually it hangs up on us. And if we do get through to a person, we get through to some surly prick or some PMSing middle-aged woman, and they won't help us. They're just mad at us for calling. What the F you calling here for? What do you think this is? So, no, we can't help you. Goodbye. And they hang up on you. That's about it. Well, anyway, H&R Block, whatever number they called, they got a human being immediately. And they told this person the story. They had to give their business number or whatever it is before they could talk to the guy or to the woman. I don't know if they were talking to a man or a woman, but whoever it was, before they could talk to them, they had to give them their business number. And then they said that they were representing me, and they told them the story. And then there was a brief pause, maybe 30 seconds, and then the conversation resumed briefly, and then they hung up the phone, and the guy just turned around in his chair, and he looked at me. And that was on a Thursday or a Friday that I was in there to deal with that. The guy turned around in his chair and looked at me. He said, "Your money will be in the bank on Monday." And he was right, it was. But see, if I had tried to do that myself, I'd probably still be fighting with them over it. So, anyway, bottom line is, I think it's worth my while to pay H&R Block to do this stuff, because I'll screw it up bad, and then if I have any issues, I don't have anybody on my side if I do it myself, and it's a nightmare. So I figure they've paid for themselves anyway, so I don't mind to pay them to do the returns. But now I've got 2022, 23, and 24 to do, plus 25 is coming up now. 24 to do, yeah, not 25. 25 will be next year. So, yeah, 22, 23, 24. I don't know if I did 21's return. I actually don't think I did. I think it's 2021, 22, 23, 24. So 4 years, which means 4 years worth of tax credits will be coming to me. So anyway, if the money gets released, that's one of the things I'm going to do. And because, like I say, that's an investment that will pay for itself in the long run. And it'll relieve some stress, too, because I'm concerned that the government may come after me. I don't owe them anything, as far as I know, but even so, I don't need them coming after me. Because what they'll do is they'll just do your return for you, and they'll decide how much you owe them. They'll just make an arbitrary decision. And then you have a bad time getting out from under that. I know people that's happened to. I had a friend that ran a body shop in Perth, and that happened to him. He didn't file taxes for a few years. And one day he got a bill from the government for an ungodly amount of money. They said, "We've estimated that your business is worth X number of dollars." Wasn't worth anywhere near that, but that's what they said. And that poor guy was scrambling around trying to get paperwork together and trying to prove that his business wasn't what they thought it was or what they were saying it was. They sent him one hell of a big bill that he could never afford to pay. The guy would have lost his house if he would have had to sell his house to pay the bill. It was that bad. So I don't want to get into that situation. Anyway, there you have it. There you are. That's it for now. I'm going to have a little bite to eat, and then I'm going to head out. I'll call the lady who I was going to work for today, and I'll let her know what's going on, but I won't do that until later on. I'll do that around 10:30. I can call her from wherever I am, because if I'm still in Perth or whatever, I can call her from Perth. I have a cell phone, so it makes things a little easier that way. Anyway, that's it. Like I say, I'll keep you all up to date on the Buy Me a Coffee Fund. Whenever I'm told what's going on, I'll do a video and I'll tell you guys what's going on. Especially for the ones who did contribute. I think you have a right to know what's happening with your money and what's happening with the fund you contributed to. So anyway, I will do that. Whenever I get word, I'll pass it along to y'all. All right, bye for now.